Welcome back, guys. It's Colin with the Sun Pirates TCG here with my co-host Mohammed, as always.
How's it going, guys?
And today we're doing a review on the new leaders that have been revealed for OP-12. Yeah, so let's just get right into it. Starting with the red one, Silver's Rayleigh. It's a 5 health leader, 5,000 power, and it says, per the rules, you cannot have cards with cost of 5 or greater in your deck, and activate main once per turn. You may reveal 2 event cards in your hand, and give up to one of your characters with a base power of 4k or less, plus 2,000 power for the turn. So, this one is... I think it's pretty bad, guys. I'll be honest with you.
I was going to say,
so
on
bad.
paper, it's pretty underwhelming.
Because, like, right off the bat, there's, like, 2 deck building restrictions with him. Obviously, his top line attacks where you can't have 5 cost or greater in your deck. And even the 2 event ability is, like, you have to play, like, a solid amount of events in your deck to leverage that ability, right? So it's literally 2 deck building restrictions,
right,
that are tagged onto this
especially
leader.
like for the events. Also, it's like you don't just want events to just like stick in your hand, you want to use them. Like if I have and notably you can play this, if I have Divine Departure in my hand, I want to use the card. I don't just want to like keep it stuck in my hand forever, which means I'll need another event the next turn, right? So it's like, but notably,
right, so
because you can't play 5 cost or higher cards, you can play cards that like have pay a number of Dawn. So like Divine Departure is an event you can play that technically total cost is 6, but because the printed cost is 1, it's only a 1 cost event, so you can't play it. So that's interesting to see.
Yeah. Now, there were a couple of cards revealed for, I guess, like, the Roger Pirates archetype. There's, like, a 2-drop Shanks and a 2-drop Buggy that can give another Roger Pirates Rush and Blocker, respectively, which they're okay. They don't really do anything else because they're just, like, 2-drop 2Ks or something to that extent.
I think they're 2-drop 1Ks.
Yeah, even worse, right? There is, however, a event revealed for him called Observation Hockey. It's a 0-cost red event. You can attach an active Dawn to your Silver's Rayleigh and look at top 4 and reveal a red event or a 3-cost or greater character card to add to your hand, which is kind of okay. I don't like that it says you have to attach an active Dawn, so I understand why.
Yeah,
so
since it's a 0-cost event, it like costs 1 pretty much, but you can only use it if you have a Silver's Rayleigh card on the table, so either the leader or a character. Also, it's whack that Rayleigh can't play either of his cards in his deck.
That's true.
That's why. That's the thing I'm most upset about. But I think the leader is an interesting concept. Notably, he works with the Punk Hazard Sanji, the 3/4, because... Or no, it's a 3/3 that becomes a 3/6 on your turn. But because its base power is 3, Rayleigh can make it a 3/8, which is, like, cool, I guess.
Yeah, there's also, like, other niche things, like, I guess, the starter deck 2-drop Sanji from, like, the very first starter deck that has Rush. If you give it 2 Dawn, so it becomes... For 4 Dawn, it becomes a 6k Rush. With Rayleigh's ability, it becomes an 8k Rush.
Yeah.
For 4 Dawn, which is kind of cool, I guess.
But like, Kid Killer is a 4/7 Rush that I don't need to use my leader ability on. But notably, you can't buff it because it's a 5k base. So
right, exactly. It's like, again, I'm taking this deck building restriction and trying to jump through these hoops to, like, make these cards good.
Yeah, I could just play Zoro.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he'll get more, like, 0-cost events that are good. Like, the Observation Hockey is pretty reasonable for what it's worth. I don't know if it makes up for all the other cons that we just spoke about for this leader, but if he gets a lot of cards like that, then maybe we have something.
Events.
Yeah.
But speaking of Zoro, we have finally gotten our second just Zoro leader. Zoro Sanji doesn't count. I don't care what you tell me. So we got a mono green 5 health 5k base Zoro leader that says Dawn X3, activate main once per turn. If this leader has battled a character during this turn, set this leader to active. Then for the rest of the turn, this leader cannot attack characters with an original cost of 7 or less. I think this leader is insane.
It's really strong.
So, like, it just, like, you can't block it, like if you go to 0, you just like you can't have one blocker. You need two, because if you block, he battles a character. It's like Lucci from OP-3, but you don't have to discard 2 cards. But notably, he has the benefit of being able to like play for board and for life at the same time. So like, for example, into Doflamingo, which is a prevalent deck right now at the time of recording. If Doflamingo like puts a Weevil into play rested, this Zoro can swing 8 into the Weevil, and if the Dofi gives you 2 cards to defend it, you just untap and then deal them a damage. So they like still took a damage and discarded 2 cards, which is like crazy. And you could just do it again the next turn. Or like even Green Captain Kid, you can't like if they just put 15 Dawn on their or 10 Dawn on their layer and swing 15 into your Captain Kid, and you're like, oh, I counter out of it, nice try. They're like, all right, untap, attack, and do it again. It's still an 8 cost, and they're like, well, shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like 15k into rested Green Kid, and then they block, and you're like, okay, 15 again at Green Kid.
It's like even like they can't even try to like protect it. Like if they counter out of it once, you just do it again. But if they let it die, you still untap and then go at their face. It's like it's so devastating.
Yeah.
And then they've made like 2 different slash searchers.
Yeah, so we got the Perona, which is just straight up on play. If you have a slash attribute leader, look at top 5 for a slash attribute card, or even a green event card also, and put into your hands. And then we have the Hiyori, which is just like Momonosuke and Bonnie, but specifically for slash characters. Although it is also leader locked to Zoro specifically, oddly enough.
Yeah, we're talking about the Zoro leader right now, so
yeah, but I was hoping it wasn't leader locked, so maybe you could play in like, I don't know, like a Wano leader, like Oden, or I was wishing it was like slash leader locked or something. Maybe you could
this leader looks very powerful from where I'm sitting. I think even if they reveal like nothing else, this leader is going to be like a meta contender, to be perfectly honest.
We'll see. I still am holding my breath just a little bit to see what kind of bodies what kind of main deck bodies they give him. Like maybe, I'm sure they're probably gonna print like a Mihawk of some kind, since the whole theme is like Master Disciple, right?
Yeah, but like you can already play Cavendish. The leader's a Supernova too. Like
that
it's
is true.
Crazy.
That is true. That is true. If you just have if you have 6 Dawn on board, you play Cavendish on tap 2. You have 3 Dawn. Slap him on your leader and just go to town, right?
And then Cavendish is a slash, so he's searchable by both of the slash searchers now. It's like
that is true.
Everything's coming together. Your one weakness is buggy cards. They're all immune to slash. Your deck just can't answer a buggy.
The 1-drop buggy, the clown.
1-drop buggy, 3-drop green buggy. Get your tech card now, guys. OP-3 slash buggy, unkillable by slash cards. No. Win your mirror. Moving on, we have an interesting one in my take. I think Colin is not a fan of this leader, but I think it has potential, which is the Mono Blue Kuzan. He's a 5 health, 5k base leader. And he has, when your Navy type card's abilities cause you to trash cards from your hand, draw a number of cards equal to the amount you discarded. I think this card has so much potential.
But like, again, it's very contextual, right? That's my issue with it, is that the current blue Navy cards that discard cards, there's not a whole lot of them, and the ones that do exist aren't always that great. Like the Suru 2K is pretty good. I'll give you that. But like, what else is there? Aramaki? Like, come on.
I'm not going to defend Aramaki. I think that card, even if you like have this to back it up, is not playable. I think the most important thing this leader needs is he needs cost reduction in blue, and he needs something that just like basically rummages, which is the magic mechanic of discard a card then draw a card. If they give him that, then his leader ability just lets him draw 2 cards, and I think like free plussing is always broken.
If there's something like Cavendish, like the blue Cavendish for Dressrosa, if Navy gets something like that, then maybe we're talking.
Yeah, like draw 2, discard 1.
Yeah, and then you discard another one.
If they just make like a Sengoku effect, like the starter deck Sengoku 1-drop, just discard 2 Navy cards, draw 3 cards, but
They're not gonna
blue,
they're not
just
gonna
gonna
print that.
draw
They're not
5
gonna
cards. That's so good.
No, no way they're gonna make that.
I'm going to hold out hope. I'm going to hold hope beyond hope that they do, because I think it'd be funny.
Now, there are a couple of cards at this point that have been revealed for him. The Rocinante 1-drop is pretty reasonable. During your opponent's turn, if one of your blue navies were to be removed by opponent's effects, you get to rest him and discard a card, but because of your leader ability, you draw a card back. So,
right. So
it's really
you
just
basically
rest
him. But you also dig deeper into your deck. I think digging deeper into your deck for answers is always pretty good, though.
Yeah. And it's a 1-drop, so it's pretty reasonable. It's just like, it's like a Tashigi, which is, you can't really complain about that.
Right, exactly.
And then we also have the 6-drop revealed. I believe this is just a common or rare. No, it's just a rare.
Yeah,
the Kuzan 6-drop. If your hand is 5 or greater, it has +1 costs. So it's a 7-drop instead of a 6-drop, which is kind of cool.
Stuns a dude for a turn, I believe.
Yep. On play, trash one card from your hand. Up to one of your opponent's characters cannot attack until the end of your opponent's next end phase. So it's very similar to the 6-drop Boa, except you have to trash a card. But again, you do draw the card back thanks to your leader ability if you're playing the Kusan leader. So it's kind of like a slightly stronger Boa in a way.
And it unconditionally stuns.
Yeah, unconditionally stuns. You don't have to worry about your opponent randomly having a Luffy on board.
True.
So, but yeah, we'll have to see what sort of like SRs this guy gets. Now, granted, I will give him, like, as much as I was dogging on the Blue Navy support, we do have Tashigi Searcher, which is already nice for that. So if there are some really good Navy cards, at least we do have a Searcher already printed. So there are quite a few slots available in blue for this guy. But moving on, our next leader we'll talk about will be the Sanji leader, blue-purple. Funny enough, it's both a Straw Hat crew and a Vinsmoke family. But for those of you who are wondering about the Reiju support, it's not a Germa 6/6 leader, so you still cannot play like the mini rangers to tag into the big rangers. But you are still a Straw Hat crew, obviously, so you do get to play Gum Gum Giant, which is pretty relevant. And he's a 5k 4 health leader, like any other dual type leader that says activate main. Once per turn, you can activate up to one Straw Hat crew type event card from your hands with an original cost of 3 or less for Dawn -1. And when attacking, if the number of your Dawn is equal or less than your opponent's Dawn, you get to add 1 Dawn rested.
I'm going to say this before everyone gets hyped up, because I got hyped up and disappointed. He cannot play Peel Off. It is not a Straw Hat card. I was so mad. Like, you have no idea.
It's in flavor. He wasn't part of the crew yet.
I don't care. It's Sanji's Peel Off. It literally has Sanji in the name. Why can't Sanji play Sanji's Peel Off? It's stupid.
Was he in the crew when he cooked that Peel Off?
I don't care.
No.
Why does he have to? Why can't it just say a Sanji card or a Straw Hat event? It's his Peel Off. He should be able to play it.
Nope.
Yeah. Currently, there's not too many events, but it is looking like, from the like randomly revealed like support cards, it does look like they're planning on giving him a fair number of events in the set. But most of the blue and purple events we have right now that are Straw Hat crew aren't very great.
Yeah, well, at least the main phase events that you can play off of him.
You can't play it because you still have to follow proper timing window. You can't like play a giant to draw 2 cards on your own turn.
That would be incredibly stupid. If you
just go back down to like 0 Dawn to draw 2.
Yeah. There's like a handful, like in purple. There's Gum Gum Lightning, Gum Gum. What's the where is it like Jump Rope where he's like twirling Kaido around?
Jump Rope.
It, like you can like rest a guy.
There's a card in OP-11 that's like 3,000 rolls, but it's for a 4-drop instead of a 5-drop, since the card costs 3 instead of 4. Mm-hmm. But bottoming a 4-drop isn't like the best thing you can be doing in this format. I mean, I guess if we're doing it for free, it's not terrible.
Yeah. I'm actually paying more attention to his second ability, though, the when attacking ramp
Yeah.
Because you get to... That otherwise means you get to play like a lot of Dawn minus effects for basically for free, which is kind of cool. Imagine you go like 9-drop Purple Big Mom while you're at like 10 Dawn, you minus heal, you have 1 Dawn open, you swing, ramp your Dawn back, so you're back up to 10, then you giant, go down to 8, but then next turn you go back to 10, so you get to like not minus. But it's like I said, like a lot of cards that minus like a Dawn, like 9-drop Big Mom, like I just said, 5-drop Queen, even something like
OP-12,
even something like the
Gear
4-drop
Luffy.
Yeah, Gear 5. Yeah, exactly. Like Nika Luffy, you get to get a Dawn back. Even something like Frankie, the 4-drop blocker Frankie.
That one's
like,
probably not that bad, honestly.
Yeah, you effectively only minus 1 Dawn, which isn't the worst. And there's probably a few other things that I'm probably missing that you could probably leverage with this guy's
this leader
ability.
will probably be like pretty dependent on his events, but like his second ability is pretty solid.
Yeah.
Moving on, we have the yellow or designated yellow leader of the set, which is Rosinante, Don Quixote Rosinante. He's a dual color purple yellow leader who's both Navy and Don Quixote pirates. He's a 5k base. He says once per turn, if your Trafalgar Law would be KO'd, you may add the top card of your life to your hand instead, which is very on flavor. And he also has activate main once per turn, Dawn -1. During this turn, the next Trafalgar Law you play from your hand with a cost of 4 or more will have its cost reduced by 2. Notably, there are 3 laws currently that you can reduce the cost of, I believe. But I like this leader. He's very on flavor for what he is in the series. And honestly, he has a lot of potential. Like Yellow Law, the 7/9, playing that card for 5 is really good.
Yeah, the Supernova Law.
Yeah.
And then, which actually comes in tandem with one of the newly revealed SRs for the set, which is a purple 7-drop Law. So I'll have it up on the screen here. On play, if the number of Dawn you have in play is equal or less than your opponent's Dawn cards, which presumably it will be because you're probably going to minus a Dawn from Rosinante ability to make him cheaper. But on play, you get to gain a Dawn as active, and then your Rosinante and your Hard Pirate type characters get plus 1000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. I don't think this buffed your leader, though.
I believe it does buff your leader, since it just says your Don Quixote Rosinante, and then it's separated.
Alright, well, I guess we'll see, because I've seen a couple different translations where it's like specifically characters versus like the name Rosinante. It's just the way it's worded. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's worded very similar to the Observation Hockey event, so I believe it does apply to the leader, but we'll just have to wait for an official translation.
I would hope it applies to your leaders, because like you're literally playing the Rosinante leader. It would be kind of silly if it didn't buff your leader, but I actually think it's pretty cool too. This card's also like a Supernova.
Yeah,
enough,
you can
so
add this
you
to
can
your
play with the
life.
yellow one. Yeah. But yeah, either 7-drop, the purple one and the yellow one now. You can basically play on your 6 Dawn turn.
Since you have to minus the 1 Dawn first.
Right, because you have to minus the 1 Dawn first. But you get to swing for 6 with your leader, and then minus that Dawn, which is pretty cool.
You also have the blocker law, the 4/5 blocker that rips cards out of your opponent's hand. Notably, that one Dawn minuses again, which isn't the best thing, but like playing a 2/5 blocker is pretty reasonable, with the potential to rip if you want. Yeah,
there's also I think it's like a common or uncommon from set 11. It's a 4-cost 6k blocker law in purple that's like on play, if you have equal or less Dawn than your opponent, you gain 1 Dawn back rested.
It honestly might even be in this set. It might have been like revealed.
I think it's in the previous. I could be wrong, or is it a promo?
It's in the set. It's
like I'll have it up on the screen. So you.
Oh no, it is
for
a
you guys
promo.
to see.
Okay.
Oh, it's a promo.
Yeah, it's a promo card.
I think that'd be pretty good too. As like as a blocker, it gives you back the Dawn
it's a 2/6
that you spent. Yeah, for 2 costs, it's a 6k blocker.
2/6
That's pretty good, right?
Good.
Yeah, and then again, it's like if he were to die, you could leader ability to protect it. So.
Yeah, they can't just like ignore it. You could just like,
Yeah, keep poking 6 at your opponent's face.
yeah, that's pretty good.
That's all you need is a block. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm pretty. I think this leader is pretty reasonable. I don't. It waits to be seen, but I have high expectations for him. Lastly, but certainly not least, I think this is the one that Colin's most hyped for. I'm most hyped for Zoro. But we have Koala, the designated black leader of the set. Koala is a black-yellow 4-life 5,000 base leader that's Revolutionary Army and Dressrosa, which is important that it's a Dressrosa because it means you can play this Coliseum. And Koala has, when this leader attacks your opponent's leader, if you have 2 or more cost 8 or greater characters in play, you draw 1 card. And it has once per turn, when your opponent plays a character with an original cost of 8 or greater, or when your opponent plays a character through a character's effect, you may activate this ability. Your opponent adds the top card of their life to their hand.
This is a Yu-Gi-Oh card if I've ever seen one.
Yes, that was a lot to absorb. A few things I want to point out. One, the second ability is optional. So your opponent cannot just cheese you by playing a 10 cost Roger when they're at 1 life. You can just choose to not make them draw their last life. So if they think they're being really smart by being like, haha, I played my 10 drop, now I'm at 0, you can't block, you're like, I'm not going to deal you damage. But also notably, it cares about original cost of 8 or greater, since a lot of the cards they've been revealing increase their cost so that you can start drawing off of Koala's leader ability sooner. Also similarly, there isn't a hand requirement for Koala's first ability, so it's very similar to Sakazuki, where you just see twice as many cards as every other leader, because you're drawing 2 cards a turn and everyone else is drawing 1 card a turn. It's a similar thing we see with Blue-Purple, and why Blue-Purple Luffy is doing very well. It's a leader that gets to choose what 2 cards it draws every turn, while Koala doesn't choose what 2 cards she draws every turn. She's still drawing 2 cards a turn, which is very strong.
Again, the extra draw, though, is still contingent on you having the 2 8-drops in play. I understand, like, a lot of the new Rev Army bodies that they just revealed, like the Morley and the Karasu, become 8-drops, but that's still, like, across 2 turns you have to develop.
Yeah, you're not going to get
you're not,
right
you're not
away.
just drawing right off the bat. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
That's fair, but Blue-Purple also doesn't draw right off the bat, so it's like, I think it's a fair comparison.
Yeah, and she's very. It's almost like she's a Dragon Ball leader. It's like on swing draw card. That second ability though, it's like that's a very divisive leader ability. You're either gonna like get rolled by the aggro decks, or you will completely roll the control decks.
So it's like,
I think there's like no in between.
It's like super dependent, right? Because for example, you're very strong against Zoro, the Zoro deck, because the Chopper is a character that plays your cards. However, traditional Zoro, where you're just like playing your things fairly and just buffing them slightly unfairly, is going to roll you. By contrast, Doflamingo, where all of your putting into play effects are coming from your leader and not from your characters, this leader has no text against it.
Since they don't have Jinbei anymore.
Yeah, because
because
Dofi doesn't have Jinbei anymore, and he just plays everything off his leader ability. You just have no text, and he's just putting bodies into play. So you're he should, in theory, run over this leader without anything else revealed.
Same with Green-Purple Luffy. You're not cheating out bodies. Well, sort of. You're paying full retail for your bodies. You're just getting Dawn for no reason. Yeah. And you're not playing any 8-drops either, so you're just you're just pushing.
A lot of them have adapted to playing like Luffy Taro, which plays off of an effect, but you'll just like not play your Luffy Taro.
Yeah, just don't play it.
Just like hard cast your cards instead and discard that to Giant.
Just pitch it to your Giant. Who cares, right?
Exactly. But it's like it's very interesting. It's very divisive in that like some leaders like theoretically just die to this, and some don't. Like notably, Teach likely struggles against this because 10-drop Teach, while he does silence a leader, is an activate main, which means Koala's ability will trigger as soon as they play the 10-drop before they can activate it, meaning they will have to take the life, and that can put them in a very precarious situation.
Or Kuzan too, if you use Kuzan to tag out into another guy, that's a character ability playing another character, so they will have to rip their life.
So you can put them in a very precarious spot with this, and also...
Lucci will just drown.
Lucci drowns.
they drown in
Blackbeard,
this
at least as a redemption thing, has access to large liberation, the 6-cost liberation, which cares about original cost, not current cost, so it can get around all these characters that buff themselves. Notably, it has a restriction, too. You have to have more bodies, but...
Yeah. There's also if Koala has like a lot of... It's going to depend on a lot of 3-cost and lowers, too. Shiryu is also your guy to blow that stuff up.
Exactly, so Shiryu cares about original cost, so that's also very notable.
But Lucci, with like things like Rebecca and Spandine that play characters, and all their boss monsters that they need to like close the game out, like their Kaidos, their
Tenkuzons,
their Stussies, Tenkuzon if they play that. Also, all these Rev Army cards that support her so far are just straight up 8-drops on the board, so they're a pain in the butt for Lucci to get rid of. Like, it's just your hard counter. You're also drawing extra cards every turn.
You're like, as a leader that has the Dressrosa tag, you get to play Colosseum. You have access to, like, the Dressrosa Searcher. I'm not sure if the other cards revealed so far are Dressrosa. I have to double check.
You can play, like, the 1-drop Rebecca if you want, because you have the Dressrosa leader. You can play, like you say, you can play Colosseum. I believe you can play the 4-drop Zoro.
Yes, the Zoro rests either a stage or a leader, so I believe you can play Zoro. But like, you can play the Sabo from set 4 is a Rev Army card, so he's also still searchable. He's both Rev Army and Dressrosa.
Yeah,
so
assuming they make some kind of like, assuming they make some kind of Black Searcher for Rev Army.
Right, exactly. And if they don't, you have like the Dressrosa Searchers in the form of 1-drop Rebecca. So
on the other side too, you also have Rev Army support in yellow, like the 6-drop Koala from set 9, the SR.
Ooh.
So you can maybe do some stuff with that, depending on what else we get printed.
That card plays off an effect, so you're probably a corpse in the mirror, though. You have to rip a life and then rip a second life.
Just don't activate it, or
just Swordblade is 5/6. True.
But it's a 6/6.
It's a 6/6.
It's a 6. Well, it's only fair because it plays a free guy.
I'm
not really helping his case. I'm not really helping his case in the mirror match, but I mean,
you can't say it. Being a 6/6 makes it fair. Does it at least have counter? Is it a 1k counter?
No, it's a 0 counter.
That card's terrible.
Again, it's like one of the power cards in like Bello Betty. So
that's insane. I can't believe they actually printed a card like that.
But who knows? Maybe you can do a thing with a Koala. So.
But yeah, I'm pretty excited. All of these leaders are shaping up to give us a very exciting OP-12 format. I know we're not in OP-11 yet, or even Extra Booster yet, but with globalization on the horizon, it's always nice to like look at these upcoming leaders and try and figure out, give some first thoughts, right? Like what we think about them before they're out, before much support is revealed either.
We might do like another power ranking video on these leaders as
we'll do a review of our review. We'll rewatch this and we'll give you guys our commentary.
Yeah. But yeah, at any rate, that'll be it, guys. So this is just our first impressions on these 6 newly revealed leaders. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Remember to also like and subscribe and click that notification bell to know when we are uploading again. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.
Take it easy.